And so today is a very special edition of the Dev Call in so many ways. As you can see, we're calling it Group Chatchella. We're talking about all things group chat. So put on your sunscreen and put on your ironic sunglasses and let's go. Naomi, shall we kick it off?
Yeah, Scott, I think that you're unmuted if you don't mind muting. Great. Yeah, okay, so really excited to be here today to talk about group chat with everyone. So some of you may remember we shipped a V2 version of group chat last year. It worked, but had none of the security guarantees that we wanted. We then spent the next year going deep to make the very best group chat protocol we could, backed by MLS. We shipped a usable protocol at ETH Denver in February, and now finally, as of yesterday, we have a production version of it. I'm really excited to get to share this with everyone today, and it wouldn't have been possible without everyone in the community filing bugs and help driving features. So yeah, without further ado, Peter Ferguson, who has been instrumental in shaping the React Native SDK and group chat, and soon our smart contract wallet support. Take it away. Or James, somebody from Onit.
It's gonna be both actually. Perhaps having some problems. So if I can share my screen, we'll share mine, and then we'll both do a bit of talking.
Fantastic.
Do I have to let this get permissions? Yes.
Yeah, so while we're getting this sorted, I will start, I guess. So yes, I'm Peter, this is James. We are the co-founders of Onit. Onit is an app that brings multiplayer crypto to your group chat. We've been building, actually we started building on V2 XMTP group chat when it was a thing in alpha a year or so ago, after the Variant Founder Fellowship, when Shane gave us a talk and sort of convinced us that XMTP might be the way to go. And so we started building on that, and obviously it went away. So we built a centralized backend, had our own chats, but recently with V3 coming out, we decided to go all in and move over. So we've been building on it for the past several months. And so what we're going to do is just show 3 product demos, 3 little features from the app that leverage it, and explain how it's different from V2 and how this enables it, how XMP enables those features. So if you want to start the first one. So the first one, that is the first thing that's new in V3 is the inbox ID, and how it slightly decouples your XMTP from your wallet address. So instead of having one XMTP account for a single wallet address, you can now have a single XMTP account with a bunch of wallets. And so what we do here is we create a username, and we go through and we get prompted to create a passkey. The second thing that's new about inbox ID is that it's no longer just EOAs on XMTP. We now have smart contract support. So what we're doing here is we are creating a passkey, which creates a smart contract wallet, and using 6492, we can create the XMTP ID without having ever deployed the account. So now we have a user with an XMTP account. They can chat, and they don't yet have a smart contract wallet that has been deployed, but they can deploy it in the future. And so, yeah, this is the sort of onboarding that we have developed. And so the next feature that we want to show is basically one of the main features that we're driving it on it, and it is importing safes for your group chat. So now with, sorry, that's too far ahead, attaching multi-sig wallets to your group chat. So when you come through, you've got your account now. I can actually go through and create a group chat. So if you want to skip forward a bit here, when you create a group chat, you can select up to 400 members, which I believe is semi up for debate, but at the minute it's 400 members. And we come through, and one thing to note when you're building out on XMP v3 is that the inbox ID isn't initially created for your address. You have to actually be on the network. And so what we have here is two different sections, one for members who are on V3 and ones that aren't. And we have implemented this on the client so that whenever they do join the network, then they'll eventually get into the group. But yeah, so this is your group you created. And what we do on it is we give you a wallet section of your group chat. And what you can do is you can create a wallet, which is a multi-sig that is then attached to your group chat. And we create a custom content type that is sent into your group chat so that any other client can then adopt the multi-sig and they can know who the members are, what sort of multi-sig it is, where to get the transactions, where to get the data, how to create the proposals, etc. And so, yeah, this is leveraging a custom content type in your group chat that can be used to enable multi-sigs. And so you can see that this is creating a new group, but what if you already have a group? What if you have a party? What if you have a safe multi-sig? How do you get those in? So the last demo is a little bit of import. So I've went and I've created a safe where I am a member. We will detect them across all chains that you've deployed your multi-sigs on. This one's specifically safe. You can then click on it and give it a name. And what will happen is that you'll get automatically the same thing will happen. You'll get your group created. It'll have all those members and pending members who are actual signers on the safe. We'll use the linked content type that we've created to go get all the data and get your transactions. And you can see that I have transactions that are already, if you go back to that, sorry, you can see that there's already been a transaction that has been created on this wallet, which was to add me as an owner. And it's in your chat. You can create other transactions, sign transactions, and everything from within the chat itself. So yeah, those are the three things that we really wanted to show. And you can see there's some visual bugs. We are still working on it. It's just us, but we're actually hiring at the minute. So if you are, I know a lot of this call is actually XMTP people, but if you know anyone that's looking to build on XMTP and build the future of multiplayer crypto, we'd love to hear from them. So reach out to us on XMTP or Workcast. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing.
No worries. Cheers.
That was great. And also, we've just heard from the beginning, safe and smart contract law support and passkey and all of that. It's just so cool to see. And it reminds me, Lee Jin posted yesterday something about just managing secure DAOs and groups and stuff. And just seeing something like that feels like you can really fill that need. Great work.
Cheers.
Yeah. Any questions or thoughts? Any questions for James and Peter?
Yeah, well, I would have one about the type of interactions that you imagine for the future within those groups. I guess the reason why you are creating a wallet attached to the group is that you want people to be able to do things. What are the use cases that you already have and that you want to have in the future for those groups?
I did a lot of talking. James, do you want to take it or do you want me to?
So initial use case, we really just see like are people who are already managing like a small DAO or a treasury or like an organization on a safe. We think these people like really need like a smoother way than going into the Safe app and then like going into Telegram where they inevitably do all their discussion. So initial use case is just like utility for these people, giving them a really nice decentralized way to chat and actually perform these on-chain actions. And then beyond that, we really just see this being like the crypto group chat. So like when you want to onboard your mates in the crypto, you just get them into this one dedicated app where you can do all of your chatting, all of your like asset discovery, execution, like proposing and stuff from one place. So initial use case is sort of existing safe users, and then beyond that, it's just sort of like people who are trying to onboard their sort of wider circle of friends into crypto.
In terms of assets and stuff, we are also working hard to get frames, etc., into the chat so that you can create arbitrary transactions, etc., for your safe, which it's well known that it's not so easy to create transactions for Safe. It can be quite a hassle. And so if you can just sign up with a passkey, invite your friends, have a group chat, they can send in a frame they've seen on Warpcast or wherever, and you can all own the asset together. But yeah, it's just one of the things that we're thinking.
All right. Thank you for that question. Peter, there is a lovely note in the chat for you. And let's see here. Speaking of the future of group chat, shall we head over to Paul? Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen again. Here we go. And we have Paul, co-founder of Converse, one of the fastest and simplest to use XMTP apps today. Paul, would you like to take it from here?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. Hey, everyone. I'm Paul, one of the co-founders of Converse. Glad to be here. Thank you very much. It's the first time I have the chance to actually present something in these calls. So glad to do it. If I want to zoom out before going into the details, basically what we're trying to do with Converse is create the new WhatsApp. Because we believe that messaging systems of today's world are not based on the right foundations. And we believe that thanks to XMTP, we can create the next messaging systems that will actually onboard billions of people and that will let them interact in a better way. And I must say that we've been a little bit frustrated over the last few months building Converse with some constraints, one being that we only had one-to-one conversations, and we actually realized that people actually really want group chats. So we're super excited about the fact that it's happening now, and it's going to be available on Converse and other XMTP apps and in the near future. And it's definitely like the missing piece that will enable us to start iterating on new use cases and really fulfilling the mission of creating and nurturing new relationships with people. And we believe it's the right way. So going into the details of group chats, I have this mental framework for you. That is that actually a group chat is about two things. The first one is people, and the second one is interactions. And when you think about it, most of the apps that we use today, even if they seem to be innovating, are only about people that you already know, that you add via your telephone number or handle or this sort of thing, or in the best case scenario, via a link that is sent to you. And interactions are about sending, content types, messages, images, vocals, this sort of thing. And basically, it's good because it helps people connect with each other in the right way, but it's very limited. I like to believe that 10% of all the interactions that should happen in the world today are actually happening. And the reason is that people are not connected with each other and they don't have the surface area to create amazing connections with these people. And so this is today's world. And we have this belief that starting with Web3, we can create, if you can go to the next slide, sorry, we can create new ways for people to connect with each other and to interact with each other. And so my goal here is to give you hints on when it could be. What we are trying to do with Converse is create the surface area that lets you actually experiment as a developer on different use cases. So when you think about people, it could be fan clubs, interest-based groups, traders that want to trade assets with each other, etc., etc. Things that can be done thanks to blockchain technologies and the fact that we have open data that we can leverage in order to connect you with the right people. And so this is what a lot of people actually consider as token gated, but I see token gating is a little bit, narrowing the concept. It's more around like finding the right people to talk to, whether it's for fun, business, and this sort of thing. And this is just the beginning. I really believe that we have like 1% of what we can do tomorrow. That's the first thing. The second thing is about interactions. Because it's connected to wallets, accounts, and new forms of interactions, we can actually enhance the way you communicate with people. You can, of course, do financial stuff. Like you can bet, you can tip, but you can also play actually with people. You could have frames today, but you can have web views tomorrow. And because it's inherently social, you start with the private network and then you do things on top of it. It's as if you were just like meeting with people, and then when you are in this place, you can play with them, you can hang out with them, you can go for a drink with them, etc., etc. Think of it as the digital way to do so. And I really believe that, again, we are trying to build here the foundations that will make all of this possible. If you can go to the next slide, please. I want to give you the way I see, at least, the best way to see different actors. Of course, I put Converse here, but I should have put like XMTP clients, of course. You have first XMTP as a protocol. XMTP is about security, privacy, interoperability. Without XMTP, none of the value proposition that I just pitched is possible. Second thing is clients. So of course I'm promoting Converse here, but like Onit is one of them, and other clients can exist. And the truth is, the goal of these clients and the goal of Converse is to create the surface area that will help developers have this UX UI that is amazing and that looks good for users and developers, but also help with distribution. This is it's going to be step by step. But the goal is to say, as a developer, because I build on top of XMTP and Converse, I'm in a way kind of sure, if I bring the right value proposition, that I will have the ability to reach today thousands, tomorrow millions of people, because it's built on top of this open network. Third actor is of course developers, and developers are here in order to just leverage all of this. This is just like the playground, and then developers can play with it. And my take for it as a developer perspective, as a user perspective, the goal is always to make your life better. But as a developer perspective, I think we should all think of it as a retention tool. You are going as a developer to try and go for your audience everywhere. You're going to like existing public social networks, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. You will go to CRM, all of these things, advertising maybe. You will find your audiences, and then you need a place, the right place to keep the conversation going about what's happening, whether it's a game that you build, a tool, whatever. And this place should be Converse. At least XMTP and its ecosystem. This is the way I see the actors. Next slide, please. So as a first, let's say, toolkit, it's going to be minimal first, even if it's going to be great, and then we'll keep iterating on that. First is that with group chats V1 that are going to be available in the next few weeks for early adopters, you will be able to create group chats as a user, of course, add group name and picture, add members and remove members. All of the basic feature set that makes a group, at least viable. The second thing is there will be a revamp on Converse links. And so without going too much into the details here, the goal of Converse links is to provide developers with a way for them to gate, even if I don't like the word, but like to actually manage membership via a server of their group chat. So they have a link, they can send a link anywhere. People will be on Converse when they click on the link, they can request to join. And as a developer, you will have the ability with a secure and privacy preserving manner to add or remove members based on criteria that are decided by you and the users. So it can be token gating, it can be based on your on-chain activity, it can be based on forecaster data, whatever, but you actually use this information in order to manage the groups. To me, it's the most exciting thing because in the end, it's just a way to let developers make people gather with each other. And this is, again, an amazing piece to consider. With data that was not available on WhatsApp, not available on Telegram, not available anywhere. As a developer, this is the game changer in our industry. Third thing is text, images, all of the content types that you already know on Converse will be available, of course, frames as well, and transactional frames and quick actions, which are the equivalent of, I can't remember the name, but like quick actions on Forecaster will be available soon as well in order to let people, again, interact with more surface area within conversations. And last but not least, the last slide is about some of the ideas that I can give to developers. Of course, these are just like, you can see it as a random list. Like these are things that I see as opportunities today, but these can be there can be millions of others, and you can take like different angles to see these opportunities. First is groups attached to meaningful mints. So when I say meaningful means, it means that not every mint deserve a group. So that's not what I believe. But what I believe is that some on-chain actions are really a signal of something that will be really binding people with each other. When I actually mint a paragraph article about a precise topic and someone else mints it as well, I really see it as a signal that we are interested in the same things together, and we should talk. We should definitely talk. It's like somehow a programmatic introduction. So this is the first thing that I talk about articles. It can be about art, songs, etc., etc. Second thing is gated chats for subs. This is the most obvious one, but like, of course, it has to be done, and of course, it will be amazing. You know, paragraph subscribers of a writer, hyper sub, all of these tools that are actually amazing and that can sometimes already sort of provide token gating abilities for group chats and posts, etc. And of course, it's better if it's the app that you in the app that you use on a daily basis. Third thing is the weirdest, but honestly, I think it's the future. Animate groups with conversational games and elements. So think of it as, you know, a TV show in which like all of the members of the groups are participants, and there is a sort of like a bot that just animates the group. And says, it's your turn, you do that, you do this is a question for you, this is something for you, you bet this on this game, etc. Like the Euro today, France won yesterday, France is going to win the Euro. I really want to be there and actually bet with my friends. And I'm too lazy to organize it myself. But if there was this bot that would do it for me, that would be amazing. Fourth is new group business models. Very open, but I love the idea of saying it can be a real business to actually create a group chat. Like you can see it as the first person who creates the group, the ones who actually gathers people with each other, can let people pay in order to be able to post within a group, let people pay in order to trade with each other in a group, etc. I don't know how it can be done, but I had this very interesting intuition that in a way, programmatic money is about creating new business models. Like Zora is creating amazing business models around mints, around NFTs, etc. And we have the opportunity to actually create new business models in the way people communicate with each other, which is in a way revolutionary. And honestly, I'm super excited to see how people will leverage this opportunity in the future. And yeah, well, last thing is about, you know, you're watching a video on Twitch or whatever, I don't know, platform that you want to use. And I can't remember the name about the one that is on chain. Sorry about it. Unlonely. And the chat on the side could be something that is linked to XMTP, and you have this button that you can click in order to actually reach out to this conversation with the people who are also watching. The way I see it now is it's a shame that a lot of the interfaces that give you chats do not let you continue the conversations elsewhere. And this is a shame. Like I've started so many conversations with people that I just lost because it wasn't a website and I couldn't continue elsewhere. And on Converse, this is like with XMTP and Converse, this is definitely a possibility. It might be for, you know, a little bit more in the future, but I definitely see it as an opportunity. Sorry, no, not sorry. I'm glad that I talked to you. Maybe I was a little bit too long. Sorry about that. And the last slide is about like if you have questions or ideas, or actually the way I want to see developers behaving with us, if they want to, is like be very tough with us. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Tell us how Converse can be the best surface area to create the best communications for tomorrow and serve you as a developer.
Oh, fantastic, Paul. What an inspiring, thought-provoking talk. And if I might, I'll go ahead and share a link where folks can sign up for the wait list for Converse with groups. So I'll go ahead and put that in the chat. There we go. And that might be a way for devs to act upon your call to action. So thank you again. Any thoughts for Paul in the moment now?
Just beautifully said, as always. I would hate to be the person who would have to follow him. Next slide, please.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Alex.
So, Yeah, just going to talk a little bit about developing with the new SDKs. As Paul said, as everyone's been saying, there's a lot of great new features that we can do with groups. But just, yeah, looking at the development side of things and working with it, some cool stuff that's going on with V3. First off, SDK level caching. So that was kind of a bit of a pain point with V2 stuff, is that you always have to build with caching in mind. But now here we are, a little bit nicer on the SDK side, and then can continue forward and have that, have that going for you whenever you just start using it right out of the box. I think another kind of potentially confusing thing is understanding how syncing of groups goes. So like typically you'll want to sync a group whenever you load into a group, or if you're streaming messages, then you can also sync it there, and that, hey, the group has been updated. Can pull it forward and say, we've got some more information that we can show and have it available. And also just remind your testers about how about what backward secrecy really means, so that if they have to clear the app or anything like that, it's expected that, hey, there could be some lost messages as far as groups go, because of like if you're clearing out the database, then you're going to lose those messages due to the backward secrecy protection. So yeah, just some reminders, and I think that's it from me.
Great. Thank you, Alex. And that's some hands-on advice there from Alex. So good. Thanks for sharing. And now we have some time for just open Q&A based on the varying perspectives and experiences shared today. Any thoughts? Any ideas from the group? Oh, great. And James has also shared a link for the Onit waitlist. Fantastic. Great. And any other thoughts or insights from the core devs on the XMTP team? Any tips that anyone else wants to share?
Yeah, I'll just say, as you run into things, like, talk to us. Open issues. We're here. I want to hear it. I want to know what we can do better, what's not working. Definitely. Yeah, we're ready to get lots of feedback.
Bam. Amazing demos, everyone. I woke up, 3 years and 1 month ago, we started this thing. And to think about yesterday and what we all built and all of the effort that came together to do this is just such a powerful moment. And this is actually what we were here to do, which is build a modern messaging protocol that is secure and private, that developers can all trust to go build on. And to just think about where we're at now and all the things that came together to get here and what is now possible. We all know groups have been the thing that we really needed. And to do it in a way that wasn't compromising on privacy, security, openness of being able to monitor or track or surveillance who's talking to, et cetera, and to get all those properties in this and be able to really put something out that's completely different and powerful is just an incredible moment. So I feel very proud today of everything, and just wanted to say kudos to all the people building on this, because I think it's a huge moment.
Thanks so much, Shane.
Group chats. There's been a lot that's went into it. I don't know if that came out, did it? My mic was muted there, but I basically just said that great work to the team. It's been a long time and a lot of work put into it, so nice job.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Well, folks, any closing thoughts for today? Lovely. All right. Well, thank you to all of our special guests for joining and sharing their insights and perspectives. I think what we hear today is everyone's like just the transparency with which you share your ideas and your building process and how we want to learn from each other and hear the feedback to make everything better and better for the users, for the ecosystem. I'm really so excited and so honored to be a part of this project. So thank you everyone for joining. Go ahead and mint your NFTs. We'll share the recording out on socials and in the forum very soon. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks.